And good evening. We are getting ready for a major weather outbreak that is going to be moving through Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, and into the edge of Alabama there on the west side. I don't want anybody watching us to take this for granted of it being just, oh, this is just another storm that's going to be passing through. This is a level 4 at this point is where we are. Serious, we could see long track tornadoes anywhere from EF2s to EF3s, and we're going to look at that, and I'll show you the diagram of what all that means. You get caught up in the everyday language of EF1 and what does it go to, how many miles an hour. This is a serious storm that we have approaching. We're going to look at this. We've got a tornado warning now in Texas. That is the same system that is coming towards us. We'll look at the timelines of what the National Weather Service is saying, and then what we're seeing in actual reality. Now, let me be very clear about weather. This is very similar as I show up to where there's been an accident, there's been a shooting of some point. We have the information of what we know at that point, but at any given time, information can change, and weather is just like that. Should the temperature change just a little bit, something speeds up. It can slow down, and it's kind of the same. We tell you the exact truth of what we know as it develops, as it happens. Sometimes it can change a little bit, so we're going to go with what we know now and what lies ahead for us tonight. Let's pull up radar. Let's go on and get into this. This red area is the level 4. Now again, this is going to stretch from Texas. Here's Lufkin, Texas here. You'll see Mr. Nasty there. It's a tornado headed toward Jasper, Texas, and we'll look at that and show those that are watching from those areas there. The amount of lightning is serious with this as it comes across Alexandria, Ruston, Monroe, Vicksburg, Jackson, and Meridian is in here. And if you'll notice on every weather guru that exists in the United States, Meridian, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi being mentioned in their weather coverage. It's not just a thing that's happening out there. This is for real. This will go. Now, they've just moved this a little bit further north. Originally, the level 4 stopped here at the Neshoba County and Kemper County line. Barely even touched here. Now, it's moved north a little bit. So all of our friends that live in Winston, if you live in Winston, you live in the Macon area there, Noxubee County, all of this, Kosciuszko, if you live near Ackerman, Eupora, pay attention to me throughout the afternoon, even Duck Hill. Y'all are now under this storm as we look at this. Now, as we look at this severe, let me hit this tornado. This is what is supposed to change. Let me turn that off. This is what it boils down to when it comes to tornadic activity. This is likely, as we switch radar screens, to where a tornado could happen tonight. If you live anywhere in this red area, a tornado could happen. Now, as we'll look at the northern end of this, look at this. Here's Scuba as we get into right up here. Here's Macon, and this will cut across Stark, Vegas, across Mississippi State. It will go up to Grenada, take in all of Duck Hill, all these areas. If you're in this area, you're prone for a tornado. As we look at these, this green area, Nashville, Murfreesboro, those areas over to Chattanooga is a level 1. We get into Huntsville, Tupelo area, over to Dothan, Alabama, and Montgomery, that's a level 2. As we move to that level 3, it takes in Bama, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, over to Shreveport, Louisiana, and down to Baton Rouge. Then there's the center of the storm of what's going on that is a level 4 that we're watching at this point. Now, let me switch screens. I want to show you what the National Weather Service has told us. Here's live radar. And again, this is a tornado warning right here. We're going to come back to that in just a moment and show that to you. What I want to do now is show you the graphics that the National Weather Service has put out so we can get a feel of this. And then I'll tell you what we think and what we're feeling is going to be coming. You ever hit the wrong button? I did. Here's the graph of what the National Weather Service has put out today. That level 4, as you'll see there. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., Greenwood down to Vicksburg, back west into Texas and Louisiana, 3 to 8 p.m. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., they're looking from Philadelphia back over to Yazoo. And then they're saying 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Again, all of this can change. Look at what we've got here. Tornadoes likely with some possible strong and long-track tornadoes. Damaging winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour. Large hail up to golf ball size hail. Now, everything that I've studied, and this is where I get into the information that we have right now. All of this can change at the drop of the hat should something change with Mother Nature. It's just prone to. What I'm seeing is we're going to have storms moving in. 7 o'clock, we're going to probably have some severe thunderstorm warnings pop off really close in the area. By 8 p.m., we will be in the heart of this storm. Now, I'm showing that this should start tapering off and moving into the edge of Alabama somewhere around 11:30. So a timeline from 8 p.m. until 11:30 is very, very strong and likely that we could have some severe weather. Now, again, let me cover myself. I don't want anybody coming back and saying I lied. That can change, but that's what I see right now, those hours in that area. The National Weather Service says here, as I'm looking at this, you'll see this, they're saying 10 until 1 a.m. I'm going to back that up 2 hours. I think as our coverage area here from Scott County on over to the edge of the Alabama there, taking in Livingston area, I think we need to start really, really being focused at around 8 p.m. I think we could have some serious storms to develop in our area by then. Now, that's serious. This is EF 2 and 3 that we're talking about here. Now, let's look what else we have here. This is National Weather telling us flash flooding is very possible this afternoon through Sunday morning. That's going to cut off around midnight. Up to 4 inches of showers is what we're expecting there, is what the National Weather Service is showing us. As we look at the winds, this is very important to remember. If you've got anything that's outside that's not tied down, if you've got something under your carport that take off and be a flying object, do something with that now before it gets here so it won't damage your car or anything in the yard like that, or a pet. Let's make sure they're taken care of. Sustained winds of around 20, gusts of up to 40 miles an hour. And when these storms hit, this can go up to 70 to 80 miles an hour within that storm. That's strong. That's very. Now, let's talk about this. This is what was put out. And this is getting old. The National Weather Service put this out this morning. That was around 11 o'clock they put this. And this was Jackson, Mississippi. They didn't develop one for exactly Meridian. As you'll see, they were showing this peak of here through midnight. A height coming through about 9:30, 10 o'clock there. And then you have to shift this just a little bit to make it to the Meridian area, and where I come about 11:30 to midnight on a lot of the things that we've looked at is what I think we will have here. This is the tornado scale that we were talking about. And again, we don't use this every day. You don't have it in the back of your mind of, well, I know EF1 is 65. The average American, average Southerner just doesn't do it that way. And EF0 is up to 85 miles an hour. And EF1 tornado is 86 miles an hour to 110. EF2, this is where we start, what we're expecting here. 111 miles an hour up to 135 miles an hour. The National Weather Service says that can cause considerable damage. EF3, 136 up to 165 miles an hour, and it can cause severe damage, loss of life, all of this. Both of these storms can. We want to be on our P's and Q's, and you've heard me talk about this before. We're going back to radar. I don't want anybody to think we're not. I want you to be weather alert. Have you got a place to go tonight? If you don't, we're sitting at what time now? 152, 153, if I can see that in the corner of my screen. A lot of time that you can do something in between now and then, which means storm shelters. Where are you going? Let's go to bed dressed if you go to bed early. Wear shoes, hard sole shoes, sleep in those. You do not know what will happen in the middle of the night, especially if you go to bed early, what could happen to your home when you wake up and then you have to walk out to a home that is destroyed. There's nails everywhere. Wear the hardest shoes that you can. When a tornado outbreak and you're sitting there, if you've got football helmets, you've got a motorcycle helmet, anything like that to protect your head, wear that when a tornado warning is issued. Why? Because most deaths occur from head injuries in tornadoes. That's just a fact. It will throw you against something, against a tree, the ground, and it will cost you your life. It doesn't hurt to wear those little extra things. There's so many extra things that you can do to be prepared with this. Now, charge your phones. Have that charged up, because you're going to most likely be without power this afternoon. That's going to happen. We're going to talk about the future of being without power, what to do. We have a few suggestions on that as well. Now let's go over to radar and look at what we've got here. Now, the National Weather Service told us just a few moments ago, as we well know, let me show you what we got going on here on radar. Here's radar. Y'all see this yellow? Let me turn off radar where you can see this. All right, this yellow is a tornado watch until 3 p.m. they are almost at 95% sure that they're getting ready to issue a new tornado watch, which will take in this area here. It will be extended into East Mississippi, West Alabama line, right through here. They're 95% sure that they're going to issue that because of the probability of all of this happening. Serious storms. Now let's turn radar back on where we can see and look at where these storms are at this point. Now, we've had some serious rain through here. We've had wreck after wreck after wreck this afternoon, haven't we? No major trauma involved with it. We've had some injuries, some people taken to the hospital. As we look at this now, eastern Lauderdale County, and this is where we've got several wrecks right now, around mile marker 171. We've had traffic backed up there for 30, 40 minutes now of a wreck. It was 3 cars involved in that. I think everybody's going to be okay, but it's been one. We've got records on scene now. Stonewall Enterprise, y'all get ready. You have a monstrous little rainstorm that is moving through Pachuta right now, headed your direction. As we look across Jasper County, look at this. Rain is going to be coming right up here in Lake Edmonds before long. We've got it out here around in between Montrose and Rose Hill. A lot of rain there. Light showers there around Heidelberg, Silverina, Raleigh, as we get into Smith County. Not so bad in between Morton and Meridian. It is slick, though. This is where we're having most of our wrecks right here, and then the Alabama State Troopers are wreaking havoc from Livingston to Utah up to Tuscaloosa in these areas here, working all of those. Carthage, it's light right now. Our friends up in Winston County, if you're watching from that area, all okay. Again, Winston County and Noxubee County, you are now under a level 4. They've extended that northward there to include you. Let's look back over here. We've got a severe thunderstorm. This is Colfax right here. Let me click that on. So Lofton, Louisiana, Mount Zion, Louisiana, Montgomery, Louisiana. Right there, we got a storm that is moving to the north, northwest, north, and northeast towards Sykes. This is going to be a Dotson in 20 minutes. If you're watching from that side of the river on the Mississippi, on the opposite west side of Mississippi River, we got a lot of rain moving toward Mississippi. The storms are coming. Here's Rayville, Monroe, to give you a Ruston, Louisiana, and then you get on into Shreveport. All of this is south of Shreveport at this point. Here's another severe thunderstorm warning that has popped up in this area right here. Now, here's the tornado warning that we mentioned. Now, to my knowledge, there's only one tornado warning in the south, and it stretches from Texas all the way over to Georgia that I'm aware of. Let's look at these areas. Here's Jasper, Texas. Right here. Here's Woodville. It's just southeast, due east of there. Odom, Texas. Let's see what this little town is here. Well, we just won't say that one, will we? Yeah, bigger than I thought it was. Jasper, Texas, right there. Oak Hill, Texas. All of this area here, this is going to be following. Let's look at our highways here as we move in a little bit closer on this storm. That's going to be County Road, Farm to Market Road 2992, FM 2992. Let's look at the heart of this, where the storm is racing towards. It's going to be at Odom, as we mentioned, in 26 minutes. If you're watching from Texas, be prepared for that. Warren, Texas, all these areas. Tornado warning in your area. Very serious storm there as we see that square. You see it blinking. When it's red, that is a tornado warning. Our gold ones are going to be severe thunderstorm warnings. As you see, they're just scattered all over this area. Look at the hail that is coming. If you live in Montgomery, Texas, it's a lot of hail coming your way, and we expect that tonight. As I mentioned, for Mississippi, we're going to see golf ball size hail. That's big. Y'all put up your cars now and get that taken care of. This is serious, as Terry said, growing up in Tornado Alley. Thank y'all for joining us there. We got a lot to talk about tonight. You will most likely see me a good bit as we get into these and break this down for you as it gets closer tonight. Again, in the next hour, I do expect the National Weather Service to give us a tornado watch issued for our area. It will probably be extended to around 1 a.m. is what we're guessing there. Let's put our timeline of really thinking serious anytime after 6:30 until midnight. It's a 6-hour window. I think the worst will arrive somewhere around 8 p.m. To probably 11:30. And again, these are guesstimates of what we have coming. The radar texting us they're lightning near Turkey Creek Park in Newton County. Nothing else, making sure we hadn't gotten any wrecks or anything like that have rolled in. Nothing new as far as those. I do want to say, I don't know if y'all had a chance to watch this, if they were here, I'd give them a high five. Did y'all see the Mississippi Highway Patrol, Troop H? We've got the video. They were Russell, Mississippi, just a little bit ago. They took down a suspected murder suspect out of South Carolina. Made the traffic stop. He was going to sneak into a store, possibly run. They surrounded, took him down without incident. We got the whole thing on video if you want to go back and watch it. I just want to say a thank you to them for what they done. It was textbook. No one was hurt, and took down a suspect that needed to go back to jail. He was trying to make it to Mexico to get out of the country. Suspect there in South Carolina in a murder. Stuff like that happens all over, doesn't it? We're watching these lines, and again, the intensity where it is now and where it's going to be is going to change as we come across with this. The main thing that we want you to start doing now is preparing for tonight. If power, charge, everything, if you don't have a generator, we want you to be prepared for that. Power and all of this is most likely going to go out. And speaking of, let's go over and take a look at what we've got here in our local area as we look at EMEPA. Absolutely nothing out right now. That is good. All clear there. Now, let's look at what's happening on the national level. Texas has 33,000 without power right now due to this storm coming across. As we look at Louisiana, about 5,400. Mississippi at 2,100. Let's go into that a little bit deeper and see where this is. Winston County got 100 out, 198. And it's just kind of scattered outages. We got right there is the big one, Coahoma County, Mississippi. We do have some storms in that area, 1,125 without power. Do you remember the tornado warning that we went live with yesterday afternoon, Wayne County? There was a tornado that actually touched down, done some damage to a home. I was reading that from the National Weather Service just a little bit ago. And I want to read exactly the way the National Weather Service said this about these tornadoes so that you can hear what they're saying. Let me put on some glasses so I can see this. Anticipated round of severe storms is expected to take shape soon, likely preceded by supercells, with all severe hazards expected. Several EF2 tornadoes are anticipated, and a few intense EF3 tornadoes are likely. A particularly dangerous situation tornado watch will be issued within the next hour. That is what I'm talking about of the National Weather Service is really taking this serious. This is not okay, we're going to issue something. This is serious. I want you to take it that way. I don't want you to treat this as just another day in the neighborhood, because it's not. Now, as I've mentioned, a few of the folks that I always say this, and it's very important. If you are watching me and you're sitting on your couch and you can see a huge tree outside your window overhanging that room, do not stay in that room when this weather breaks out. The wind, rain is going to sway, and you think of sustained winds of 20 to 30 with storms of about 40, and then in this actual severe thunderstorm activity, tornado stuff, we could see winds of 70, 80 miles an hour. It's going to snap trees. It could hurt you. If you have problems and you're thinking, I want to get rid of those trees, or if you have one hit your home, don't forget to talk to Reed's Tree Service. They've been with us 4 or 5 years now. Mike does a great job if you want to have that taken care of. If you are tired of sitting in the dark, how many of us, you don't like it, your power goes off, it blinks, you don't want that to happen anymore, talk to Booker Electric. They can put you in, and that's what we run off of here. Our studio runs off of those generators, Generacs. They turn on immediately when your power goes off, within 30 to 40 seconds, and you're back up probably within a minute. Runs your entire home. Air conditioners, heaters, your televisions, anything that you have in your home, it will run. You don't have to run an extension cord to keep your freezer going or anything like that. It runs off propane. That's handy. You don't have to be running outside with diesel fuel or gas or anything like that. It's there. McDonald and Hill, they help you with any fuel. They can bury the lines for you if you need anything done like that. Get your tank set up for you. And don't forget, if you happen to have damage, and it does, Serpro can help you out with anything that flooding or damage inside your home, smoke, whenever that time comes, they'll be there to help you as well with anything that deals with that. Now let me see here if we missed anything that we've gotten in the last few moments from the National Weather Service. Make sure they have not updated a watch or anything, and they have not. Everything is kind of floating along the way it is. But if you're watching me in the state of Mississippi, you could be in this tonight. I've gotten several messages from the Forest area, Jackson area, going, well, am I really in this? Yes, you are. In the beginning, we were thinking that even Jackson could be a little bit worse. Yeah, you never know. And this is a little bit earlier. Let me show you. They've extended, as I told you, north. They just have not updated this from the National Weather Service. Let me show you this, though. You see this line right here? This right here is the line that through 4 o'clock back west, and after here, 4 p.m. over is when all of this begins, is the thought here with this black line that runs up through here. So we'll do that. 4 p.m., 5 p.m. west, and then after that, that's when we're going to get that. As I mentioned there, we're going to start seeing stuff 6:30, 7 o'clock. We'll start getting probably warnings pretty quick around us of thunderstorm warnings, and then by 8 o'clock, we're full-fledged of potential severe weather. So we're going to be behind the scenes watching all of this, and we certainly will go live to take care of you. We've got generators backed up. We've got internet backup in case that all goes down. Hopefully that won't happen, and we can sit here tomorrow morning and say that we were blessed. That's what we're hoping for. And most definitely, if you've got somebody that lives near you that's elderly, and you know, maybe you call it a shut-in, check on them. We've got a few hours before it gets here. Make sure that they're okay. If you've got a storm shelter, you got somebody that lives close to you, offer to let them come over. It's a Southern thing to do, isn't it? It's what we do. We'll be back as we monitor all of this as it gets closer and let you know when the threat becomes real. We'll have it all for you here at the Scotty Radio Report. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back.